as we are know the important of the English communication nowadays in the profession, or you are pursuing any degree, then you are thinking about any competitive exam, then automatically your mind told that now you have to learn English communication because these are the need of our journey. Then we are going to discuss how we improve and why we think that English is so tough, and what was the actual ground reality of the English communication. Then before begin, I would like to introduce yourself, where from you, what is your background.
Yeah, so my name is Sandeep and I hail from Jharkhand. Currently working as teacher at private school. My major is accounts and finance. Free time I enjoy reading books, learning languages, striking conversation with the strangers, and traveling. So it's my short intro.
Okay, very great. Love to know you. And if you talk about myself, then I am advocate Dheeraj Singh. I am residing in Mumbai, and professionally I am advocate. And if you talk about my hobby, nowadays I'm change my hobby. I'm talking with the strangers and improve my communication skill. This is my best priority. And second is, if you talk about the physical activity, then I love to walk and do physical activity. And this is my brief introduction. And also, God bless two daughter, and all about myself. And before begin, I would like to start with a very wonderful quote. The expert in anything was once a beginner. The expert in anything was once a beginner. Because begin, we are always create the doubt. Before we start,
Yeah,
we create the doubt. Then be a beginner if you want to be expert. As per quote, we can understand the value of the beginner. And always ready to learn. Always create the curiosity. How can learn? Ask yourself how can learn. Don't ask yourself what will be result, because result is byproduct. If you are follow the process, then automatically result will follow us, and don't bother about it. Now, sir, Sandeep sir, I am so happy with you. Now you are giving me very precious time, and as you told that you are also learner, you are also teacher, and definitely this talk will be very amazing for our viewer. And let's start, Sandeep sir. You want to any question? Otherwise, I will asking the some question related to English communication.
yeah, you can ask.
Okay. Then Sandeep sir, as we know, the before the when we are began, at that time you are also created so fear. How can I speak? I am unable to talk because I have not word. I have unable to form the sentences. So I'm we are totally based on the grammar learning process. Then as per my perspective, what I learned in these 6 months, the grammar and syntax mistake we are always holding in our mind, and due to that we are creating the fear ourselves. It's called language related fear. Until you are not understood the what is the basic need of the English communication or any language, then definitely you are suffer. Then first you people should know, keep it aside of the grammar portion, try to speak. And what is the problem in our journey? Limitation of the vocabulary. We have not sufficient vocabulary, then we are suffering. Reason is that we are unable to reply them, lack of the vocabulary. And second thing is that we are always bothered about the pronunciation. Now you can see that also my pronunciation is not good that much you have to require. But we can change our pronunciation, we can improve our pronunciation due to day-to-day practice. And most important thing is that fear of the misunderstanding or misconceptions. We are underestimate ourselves, the power of our mind. We always think that people are speaking very perfect. I am not like that. The reason something is different, because until you don't know how many years or how many months he is practicing, and now you are as a beginner, then how can you start the comparing yourself with him or her? Then don't create the misconception of the mind. Otherwise, you can't learn anything. It's not only English communication. And if you talk about one more fear, the difficulty with the idioms and expression, because many people are using the idioms and somewhere, and we are unable to understand what is the meaning of that, because we don't talk on the idiom, you are not read, you are not remember. This is a problem of the language fear. Then what is your opinion on that? How can correct it? How can overcome this problem?
Yeah, when we talk about the fear, so fear is a normal thing. When it happens, it's the natural things. You talk about the topic is language fear. So language fear, whenever we are going to learn any new language, it's happened because right now I'm improving on my English, and from 2025 I'm going to start two more languages, that is Spanish and German. So I have fear, that means how can I start, and that means how I can practice. I have to engage, I have to manage the time, because to be a teacher, even I'm a student as well, so I have to manage all the things. So it's happened, the things about to language fear, that means how can I get fluence level where I can talk with native speaker. So it doesn't matter. Fear is, if you're going to do something and you are fear, that means really you have chosen a great decision, you have to taken a great decision. That means the thing, if there is no fear, that means it is a very easy thing. For example, you are going to maybe market to purchase anything, there is no need of fear. But if you are going to, if you're going to do something great thing, for example, you are preparing for some advanced level of examination, there is a fear, that means will I pass or not. That is the things we mostly we have to, it comes when we choose in any hard things. So fear is natural, or it is a good thing, because we know that we have to pass, we have to prepare. But you can remove the fear just practicing. Just you have to focus. So
Right.
when we talk about language fear, so language fear is normal or natural. Whenever we are going to choose any random, when we are going to speak or learn any language, it's come automatically. For example, right now I'm improving my language like English, and in next year I will start two new language, that is Spanish and German, because already I mentioned in my hobby that I like to learn languages. So it's happened. I also have a fear that how can I start and how I can manage all the things, to being a teacher, being also a student, and I have to manage the time. So language fear is a kind of the journey where we have to focus on the process, not about the result, that how can I become in fluent where I can talk with native speaker without any hesitation. So it's not kind of the thing, just you have to need practice. You have to follow, already you have mentioned all the things, so that's good. We have to follow step by step, and definitely after a few months or few days we can feel like comfortable, we can talk with anybody. So it's happened. Language fear is normal, but just we have to focus on process, not on the result. Already know that you already mentioned result is just byproduct. So that's totally right.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
So, yeah. So
And one more thing I want to discuss here. The psychological fear. What is psychological fear? Let's just start with wonderful quote you can understand. Believe you can and you are. Believe you can and you are halfway there. It means you jump our 50% journey if you are believing that you can do anything.
yeah,
Then
definitely.
what is the psychological fear we have to going to discuss here, because we always depending other feedback, others person feedback, society's feedback, our neighbors feedback. We never ask ourselves our feedback, what I'm improving. This called humiliation and embarrassment. We are always being embarrassed, humiliated ourselves, nothing else. And always we are create the fear of the judgmental. People will judge us. People will criticize us. This is our psychological fear. Until you are not understand the base of the psychological fear, then you will create the problem. Which kinds of problem? Self doubt, because you have not proper confidence. Lack of the confidence, you are creating the self doubt, and doubt always create kill the confidence. If you are creating the doubt, then doubt kills confidence. If you are creating the confidence, then confidence kill the doubt. Then always remember ourselves. Anxiety about making mistake. This is a very big problem in our journey. This is also psychological fear, and fear are being ridiculous. We always creating ourselves. I'm not good. If I will become good, then I will speak. These are a creation of our mind. Our mind is so complex organ in our body. We are our mind is creator of the complexity. First, we have to understand our psychological fear and psychological strength. Until you are not do strengthful work, then definitely you will always criticize us and criticize ourselves and create the doubt. Then definitely you want to overcome and definitely be strong without psychological activity. Now, what is your opinion on that, Sandeep? I want to know you.
Yeah, definitely. Psychological fear is that, fear. In reality, there is no hard, but in our mind, we already thought like it is really difficult to achieve that the things. For example, when we talk about the learn, in process of learning languages, mostly with the beginner, not from if you are in the journey, it's okay, we don't have any fear. But mostly the beginner, if they want to speak English, they have a fear that how can I start English? If I will make mistake, people will laugh, or really it will be embarrassing for me. So how can I start? And how can I, so you have to motivate yourself. You have to ignore the society or the environment. If people will judge you when you speak broken English, it's okay, because on every already you have mentioned, once every all yeah, you have mentioned that every expert, or once upon a time he was a beginner. The same thing, where just we have to think about any, those person they are speaking very well right now. So once upon a time he was or she was a beginner. So just we have to think about, yeah, one day we want to be speak like native speaker or better than native speaker. So how can we do this? Just now we have to start right now, without thinking about the society. If we think about the society, what will think society about me, then how can you start? It is really not good. So just you have to change our thoughts. You have to think the positivity or the motivation. You have to motivate yourself and stay consistent, and after over a period of time you can see the result. Even the society or the people, you will, right now he is judging you over your broken English, that they will ask you the strategy. How did you get this level? Even I also want to achieve this. So it's happened. So it's all about the psychological fear. There is no fear, but in your mind or in mentality there is, some doubts or insecurity, or insecurity or self doubt really kill the confidence, or that the things. So just you have to be very positive. Always think positive about yourself and just practice English. If you are not getting any result, just practice. If you are getting any result, just practicing. There is a quote: if you are
Right.
going to the hell, keep going. If you are going through the hell, keep going. Doesn't matter. If you are getting positive feedback, it's okay. It's appreciation. Appreciation, just keep going. If you're getting negative feedback, just improve and just keep practicing. So the thing, and it is only one thing, you have to remove psychological fear. Just practicing and focus on your level, try to improve. Just ignore, because whenever you are free and you are thinking about that, so just you have to focus that time. You have utilize that time in practicing English or whatever you do. Not this thing will be applied in your other sector, not in only learning languages.
Really, I'm 100% agree with your point. No, no, and as a teacher, Sandeep, you are just willing to learn one more language or two more language. Then definitely you teacher, then you can better understand what is the learning related fear. Why student, any people, or any beginner always create the fear of the learning, because they always create the fear of the failure. If I will fail, then what will happen? And they always face the difficulty of lack of the practice opportunity, because they have not environment to do the practice, and these are the fear. And somewhere, if you talk about that, then definitely always be motivated with ourselves. Until you are not motivate yourself, then definitely you can't do anything. And even I'm going to mention very beautiful quote: life is a writing sorry life is a riding the bicycle to keep your balance.
Mhm.
Life is a riding a bicycle to keep your balance. You must keep moving. Until you are
Yeah.
not under how can balance, then how can move on. Then always balance your mindset, always balance our emotion. Definitely you will winner. You'll be become winner. And lastly, I want to few tips for beginner who really want to improve. Because if till now they are watching this video, then definitely they have to right understand what the tips they can adopt, and they can overcome the problem of the English language. First thing, that basic advice: start with small. Start with a small means basic conversation, day to day using the word, what we are talking, where we are going, what we are doing. They have to use day to day activity with our neighbors, with our friends, with our family member. After 15 days, they become familiar with the word and phrases. And second thing, we always try to understand, no, always try to understand right now, and also try to remember the few phrases, because just words not helping you. make a sentence or from the any reply. Because until you are not have the data of the phrases, then somewhere we are unable to frame the sentences for reply, reply any person. Second is speak slowly and clearly, because if you are trying to speak very fast, then definitely you will doing mistake in the pronunciation. Now you can see we are practicing 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, till we are facing the problem of the pronunciation, because this is not time of the part of the pronunciation improvement. First you have to improve our confidence level, gather the content, speak with the person, try to understand. After that you can work on our voice module, work on pronunciation. Because first initially we have to gain our confidence. Once you gain the confidence, then automatically your mind will indicate you what is the missing point, what when where we have to work on that. And one more point is that listen actively. If you are listening and if you are doing something simultaneously, any other task, then definitely your mindset will be not there. You will miss the some point. You will miss the some important tips or advice. Who are any podcast or any video, anything if you are watching, then your concentration should be clear. Then you can understand. Then you can focus on the pronunciation. What is the pronunciation of the word and what is the meaning of that word. And last things I want to advise, very simple and effective. Efficiency, you can say if you want to be effective communicator, then always keep in mind, don't be afraid to ask for clarification. If you are talking with any person and you are unable to understand what he or she is saying, you have to ask them, pardon sir, please sir, I'm unable to understand. Can you repeat? Can you use the simple word? Can you speak easiest way? Because I am not that much fluent, I am not that much smart in the communication skills, then definitely I want to learn. I'm not going to change up the mode of the language, but I want to requesting you, please explain in the simplest way, otherwise I am unable to reply them. So don't bother about that, don't afraid that. Definitely he will or she will be honest, then definitely they can understand the, what is the your problem. And the, if, as mentioned at the earlier, expert, it was the also beginner. No, don't bother about it. An expert also, he was the beginner. Then he will teach you how can do that. And definitely the things is so easy, anyone can adopt. But nowadays, lack of the patience, people are so rapidly want to improvement. Then it will not exist in the life. Everywhere has a process. Then until you are not follow the process, you can't be improved. This is my observation. In the practice of the English communication, how I am improved within 2 years, because I working on 2 years, but due to lack of the time, I am not providing every day consistency time. But I can understand how can you improve if you have long consistency, long effort, and definitely you will improve. But depend on your quality time, your effort. It was my understanding, Sandeep. What is your opinion on that? Before going to wrap up the session, then we have to conclude our talk. What is the best way people can adopt and improve the communication skill?
Yeah, so the topic was communication. What was the topic?
How can improve communication from zero?
Okay, okay. The topic is really good. Everybody, they first of all they need to know about the strategy. So first of all, you not need to follow any teachers. Whenever you watch video, any random video on YouTube, you can say every teacher they try to provide you a lot of different kind of the strategy. You have to follow this one, and you will become few in just a few months. So no, just you have to observe and you have to make your own strategy, because there is a already 1,000+ strategy. Just you have to make your own strategy. That strategy will work for you. First of all, you identify your weakness area. For example, your when we talk about vocab, your vocab is not good, you have a only less vocab, then you have to work on vocab. If your pronunciation is not well, you have to work on pronunciation. The things, first of all, you have to understand, you have to identify your weak areas, and you have to try to work on that area. And definitely after few days you will find you are going to improve your English. Your English is getting better. So it's happened, or the things you have to follow. And already there is a list of the things you have to follow: reading, writing, and speaking, the fundamental. You have to focus. Our in India education system just follow reading and writing. Just you have to focus to more things, that is listening and speaking. Just try to listen to native speakers or any good speakers, and try to speak or practice. It is the basic thing. Yeah.
Really, it's a very valid point, Sandeep. I'm also agree on that point, and I'm requesting to people don't bother about the English communication. It's so easy as any task, but you have to first prepare your mind. Let's start, be patientfully, act on that. Definitely, one day you feel familiar in English communication, and definitely you will be very fluent. Be positive, be consistent, and you will able to speak. Thank you so much, Sandeep. Really, this is some topic, some conversation. And before going to wrap up the session, I am want to thank your no providing the expertise for the beginners who want to improve the communication skill. Thanks a lot, Sandeep. Meet you
Okay.
again.
Yeah.